Cottonmouth Media.
When we get annoyed at each other for stupid reasons that we know that we aren't actually fighting over anything, then we can just have a little joint or a little bowl and then be like, you know what? I still love you.
It's all good.
It's all good.
The Bongcast.
Baby, girl, you're so damn fine, though. Wanna know if I can hit it from behind, though. I'm sipping on you like some fine wine, though. When it's over.
Yo, cannabis lovers, welcome to the Bongcast, a podcast about people in cannabis. My name is Matt Meredith, and I am your host, your guide, whatever you want me to be, really. And on the latest episode of the Bongcast, I had the honor to sit down with my lovely girlfriend, Leah De Leon. And not only have Leah and I been dating for the last 3.5 years, we also have a company together that we run called Unreal Stories. We offer services for documentary storytelling for businesses, brands, and films. And she's helped me record most of the episodes for season 2 of the Bongcast. We discuss what it's been like to date me as I've been working on and building Cottonmouth Media, some of her first experiences with cannabis, and what our career and life has been like so far in the cannabis industry. And without any further ado, please enjoy the lovely Princess Leah on the Bongcast. Welcome to the Bongcast, Leah.
Thank you.
How does it feel to be a part of something that I feel like you've only witnessed, or talked to me about?
Now that you're asking that question, I actually feel kind of weird. But before that, I just felt like we were either having our own conversation or we were recording Getting to Know Us. So honestly, I feel a lot better just kind of chit-chatting because we've done it a lot in the car.
Right. For those who are unaware, Getting to Know Us is a podcast that Leah and I recorded very recently, going around to all 48 of the contiguous United States for 110 days. So we recorded a podcast called Getting to Know Us, where you got to know us, our company, and the United States a little bit better.
Yeah.
From our perspective.
Yeah, definitely from our perspective.
Obviously
only.
A very biased Matt and Leah perspective.
Yeah.
But for those, I guess I'll do more of an intro without you here. But I guess I'll get to the questions because I'll introduce you.
All right.
They'll already know you at this point.
Great.
It'll be great. What was your first impression of your boyfriend being interested in making cannabis content? Like doing Cottonmouth Media and putting my own personal face to open consumption on the internet.
When was the first time that... when was the first video that you published?
Well, if you go to my YouTube account, you can see that I made my profile on 4/20/2017.
Okay.
I'm not quite sure when the first video.
You know what?
I think the first video came out not that long after that. My first video that I was proud of, I think, was that Cannabis vlog.
Right.
And that was
I helped you
April.
with that, yeah.
That was April though. Oh, so that was probably right around the time.
Yeah. Well, I think for me, I'm trying to remember exactly how it was, but I knew that I helped you film a couple of events like Blunt Talks that Sam was going on, and you were just in your video mode, you were just you got the bug, you were really excited to just make a bunch of different content, and I knew that you smoked a lot, so it just kind of made sense. I don't know, I kind of, in that beginning phase where you were just kind of experimenting with what you wanted to do, like vlogging and some events and whatever, you kind of were doing everything, which is I think the best way to be. And I was just kind of rolling with the punches. I wasn't really thinking oh my gosh, why is he doing that? Or it's so embarrassing, or it's wrong, or anything.
Right. I never got that. I always felt like you were really supportive of it.
Wow, thanks.
Yeah, you're welcome. Look at those nails.
I try and be supportive.
I think this will be the first piece of content on YouTube or the WeedTube or wherever I post it, where you're on it.
Guys, I've been behind every other video.
Leia's the real mastermind, low key. No, Leia's my master producer. You are now Leah is actually now the producer of the Bongcast.
I wouldn't even quite say that yet.
Not for this season that I just did. So like you're on the last
Respect.
season that you're not producing it.
Respect.
But we started to transition you into it because
Right.
you were a camera operator for the most part.
Yeah, while we were on the road.
Right. But so this was exciting that we basically just finished our road trip as we're recording this episode because we went to San Diego the weekend right after we got back, not even a week later, and it still feels like we're on the road trip.
It
So I feel like
does.
this is like really the send-all of like, we're finally f***ing done driving.
Actually, yeah, I think that's kind of why I was also pissed earlier today, is just because I was like, dang, I really feel like we're not home, even though we are.
Yeah, I agree with
It
you.
was just kind of a weird feeling.
Dude, 16,000 miles,
Oy.
roughly, that we drove.
Yeah.
That's crazy. This is nice though. We should, like, recording the podcast with you is so relaxing versus I feel like with other guests, I'm kind of like, ooh, we gotta make sure it's exciting for them and fun and
All right, fire off the
entertaining.
questions, boy.
Yeah, let's talk about your cannabis relationship evolving
Yeah, totally.
as we've been in a relationship together.
Yeah.
So to give background, Leigh and I have been dating for 3.5 years plus. And on our very first date, we smoked weed.
That is true.
Yeah. we met on Tinder. And then we were gonna I was like asking what Leia likes to do at night, and so out of those, one of those was smoking weed.
No.
We called it
no,
hood rat
was-
shit,
I said doing hood rat shit.
which we all knew was smoking weed. Come on.
I never meant that. I just thought that you interpreted it. You were like, oh, nice. We could do that.
Okay. Well, regardless, that's how I interpreted hood rat shit.
All right.
So the only ice cream place that was open that late though was McDonald's. So we met up at McDonald's in Calabasas, California, and then I bought her a McFlurry, and then we smoked weed in my car, and we made out. It was sick. Righteous. So how was your relationship with weed at that point when we met?
Well, at that point, you'll have, like, the first time I smoked weed was probably when I was 16 or 17, and it was at Halloween. I was like Pocahontas or something, even though that's like not PC now. But I think I was PC.
I think I was PC. All kids for the most part.
Yeah,
I'm
I
naturally
was 16,
PC.
I was 16 or 17. It was a joint, and it was my high school friends, and I was like, oh my god, really? Oh, okay. I tried it, didn't get high, and then, like, I remember a few other times, like, I would get really high, and then I would twitch, actually.
I remember us talking about this on our second date, actually.
So I would smoke weed, and then as soon as I started to feel high, I would just have the urge to, like, move my body. Like, it wasn't like it, in the beginning, I always had these thoughts that were repetitive, or like I listened to songs that were repetitive, or to me it just seemed like I was living like double my life, and so I needed to constantly like shake it off to make me realize that I'm here and not in like multiple dimensions.
Right. No, I know. It's like when when you're like your feet get like antsy, or your legs get antsy. Like you've been lying down for too long and you want to like.
They fell asleep. That's
No.
what I say. Your leg fell asleep or your foot fell asleep.
No, I'm not. That's not what I'm saying. It's different than falling asleep. It's like antsy. Like you're like, you need to move around. You know, like you need to like.
Oh yeah. Okay.
I feel like that's how your like whole body felt. And so it's just like the only way to let the energy out was to like twitch.
I have some weird videos of me twitching when I
Featured here on the Bongcast on the video version.
No.
Come on.
No.
Featured in the video.
No.
Why not?
No, I'm not wearing like I'm wearing a big T-shirt. Like I'm pretty sure I'm like not even wearing pants. It's not a good idea. No thanks.
It'll be rated PG-13.
No. So then, and also, my older sister, openly smoked weed, and to me, I was like, I do not want to be like that. I don't want to smoke weed. Weed is bad. Like, all these things. And yeah, I just, because my sister was doing it, I did not want to do it. I was very much a goody two-shoes growing up, and got straight A's and followed the rules and wanted to be like teacher's pet kind of person, even though I feel like I was more interesting than that. Like, I'm not, like, I can have those qualities, but I can also be fun and adventurous, you know?
Right.
But I think stereotypically speaking, like, I was kind of teacher's pet growing up.
Did your brother ever seem like he was smoking ever?
No.
No? And did he?
Honestly, maybe like once or twice, but I don't think he ever really got into it.
Right.
So anyways, that was kind of my stance on it. And then my philosophy probably when we met was, oh, I'll smoke weed if I want to, if I'm in the mood, plus like only if someone else has it. I would never purchase it myself.
Those are the days when you think you won't purchase it.
Right, and I was like, I will sure as hell not have like my own piece or bong or like anything that supports buying weed.
I bought her first bong.
Yeah, and then we started dating, and I was like, whoa, this guy smokes a lot of weed.
Yeah. I was smoking Mokes then, too.
Yeah, that was gross.
Yeah, that was
Thank God
gross.
that's not happening anymore.
Thank God, for everyone's sake.
Yeah, seriously.
It's disgusting. If you're moking out there, or
Just
mixing
stop.
tobacco with your weed, you need to stop. If you're smoking spliffs, I guess that's like
Tom,
more
Smiley,
understandable.
that means you.
Yeah.
Okay.
Letting it go out. Okay, so then you started to consume more, obviously, when we started dating.
Uh-huh.
How quickly do you feel like that started to happen?
Well, I would always visit on the weekends because I went to Stratman and you went to Cal Poly.
Right, and they were kind of infrequent.
And they were
bit.
kind of every other month. Every other month. Or like
Sometimes if it was good, it was like once a month.
once a month was great.
Yeah.
But other than that, it was tough. We just had a lot of different activities going on, and I was also like I think I was working on the weekends at that point. I don't remember. But yeah, a lot of my memories is like, well, we talk about this all the time, is like for the first 6 months of our relationship, we were plastered the whole time.
Yeah, we got drunk all the time together.
Well, because we were just,
and high.
Right, and we would only visit each other on the weekends at our colleges, and we
Right.
want to hang out with our friends and go party and hang out with each other.
We were both in like the prime of our party phases.
Yeah, we met actually like right when we were like both party hardy.
I was more at the end of my partying career.
I was
but
probably at the very beginning.
you were in your prime, I feel like.
Yeah, I was in my prime.
Like you had definitely been drinking like your entire freshman year before you met me.
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah.
Yeah. But yeah. So you started to consume more, but you think it was happened quickly? Or did it happen over time?
I think
feel
it
like
happened over time because even when you bought me the bong, I remember being like, oh God, he gifted it to me. Like, I'm not ready for that. I'm not a stoner. This is all like while it was still illegal.
This is a good sativa. I like a sativa actually better for the interview, so I'm not like,
Yeah, because to me,
It's a blue dream.
I keep losing my train of thought.
That's okay. I still love you.
But yeah, it was definitely gradual, and yeah, I even like to recently, I would even argue some of this year, even when it was legalized, I still felt weird about talking about cannabis, and I really think it's only been a thing as of like right now that I feel more comfortable in it, because we've worked more so in the industry. I see the positive benefits it has in my life. And we've just interviewed a lot of people also that I feel like I've met enough good people now in the industry that I'm like, wow, that's cool.
Right.
You know, this is a business too. And I think I'm very business minded. And to me, I think there's just a whole world of opportunity. And we're at the right time, right place. And we got to make the most of it.
How do you view like or I guess what do you do in the industry? obviously I already know the answer to that, but so that the audience understands what we do in the industry.
Well, it's more so just associated with what you do. So I think it was very much initiated by you, but you started making YouTube videos. I would obviously always give you like my my advice on it or my feedback. You know, I would definitely say, oh, well, how about this song, or make sure you don't do that, or this could be shorter, or how about you put text on this part, or, you know, so I'd provide my feedback that way to you ever since you really started.
You went to some events with me, no?
Yeah, I went to some events with you, but most of the time when I was still in school, it was just you. And then, yeah, mostly producing, cam mopping, going to photograph stuff. Yeah. So photography, videography, documentary filmmaking.
Yeah. What did you do over the summer in the cannabis industry? If you want to talk about the docu-series or any of the stuff that we did while we were traveling. What we got to experience in Michigan or stuff like that.
Yeah,
What were your like top experiences, you know, in the cannabis industry so far? Because you've had a short career in the industry, obviously. Mine's not that much longer, but.
I guess for me, I never really considered myself a person of the industry. I think I'm starting to feel that way. Because before it was just, it was Matt's thing. It was Matt's thing. Even cannabis, like, oh, that's Matt's thing. I only do it because I'm dating him. But now I feel a stronger connection to it, and I think that now I'm just trying to see where my place is in the industry. Because I do think that obviously I will help you with all of your endeavors and our clients, but I don't know, it's exciting. I know that there's a lot of women entrepreneurs in the space, and I definitely want to be a part of that community. So I think that's what I'm thinking about more so.
But so what's like your best experience you've had in the cannabis industry? Because whether or not you acknowledge that you're a part of it. You're a consumer. You've made videos and taken photos for cannabis clients and.
Yeah, just the people we get to meet. I think that probably the best memory that I have so far is for the Bongcast interviewing Tracy Rice when we went and stayed with her in Monroe.
Yeah.
And
Washington.
Yeah, Washington. And there's a couple of times in my early filmmaking career where I kind of just soak it in for a second, you know, just when I'm doing whatever, like getting ready for an interview or carrying gear or something, and I'm just like, wow, like I'm here right now, and this is what I'm supposed to be doing. This feels good. This is what I want to be doing, and it's just kind of like a nice, like, keep going kind of thing. And then when she invited us over, it was again another, wow, this shit would never happen if we didn't try new things.
Yeah, or if we didn't, like, if I wasn't putting myself out there, you know.
Right.
For Cottonmouth Media, like, at first, you know, it probably seemed like lame to my friends, you know. But it's like, how many times has it paid off, or how many emails have we gotten for potential reviews or photo shoots or just like, I don't know, sponsorships, like products that people just want us to try, like so many things, you know?
Yeah.
Like how cool was it that first time when New Year's, you know, and that guy
Oh, that was cool, yeah.
was like, I was up, I'm Matt, and he's like, oh, Cottonmouth? I'm like, yeah. Would you consider yourself a stoner?
It just has negative connotation to it. But I would like to name myself productive stoner.
What does that entail?
That means that you enjoy your weed in a smart, healthy way. And you use it to have positive power versus negative power. So if I'm feeling anxious, I get anxious sometimes. If I feel anxious and I want to smoke weed, then that is great. And I realize that my life is pretty great. And I say, okay, I'm wrong. and then move on with my day, and then I feel better.
Yeah.
You know, but I don't like it.
Chief in a bowl.
I don't like it when we smoke too much, and I feel like, oh my God, why can I not send this one email? Like I can't talk, or you know, sometimes when you just overdo it, and it's like, oh my God.
No, I feel that. Overdoing it can suck. Overconsumption's no bueno. Has it been exciting to watch Cottonmouth Media evolve over the years?
Yeah, I think so. I think there's a lot of good stuff in the works.
What's been your favorite part about watching me on Cottonmouth Media?
What do you want me to say?
I don't know. Whatever you want. If you don't have a favorite, you don't have to.
I think the cool part is that this is just it all stemmed with your idea. I think that's really cool that you just kind of decided when you found a name, you drew something, you stuck with it, and then you kind of just made up your own.
It was a mosquito.
Oh. And then you just made up your own brand and like stuck with it.
Mm-hmm.
You know? Like, and it fits. And I see how it makes you happy, or that it gets us into these events that we would always love to go to, but maybe not get the chance to go to.
Right.
I don't think there's a favorite part. I just think it's cool to know that you started it from nothing, and to watch the numbers grow. And I mean, it's gonna get to the point where it's like, dang, like you got 1,000 a day, you know? It's gonna be cool.
Yeah. One day, baby.
One day.
Okay. Do you have a favorite strain of weed?
Well, normally we buy our weed together.
I know.
So I just kind of let you decide. But I think that from my experiences, I like hybrids that are sativa dominant. And I like Purple Punch. I like this Blue Dream.
Yeah, it's a sativa.
Yeah. I lean a little bit more sativa because I'm already a sleepy person.
But you get anxiety.
Yeah, but for me it doesn't make me anxious unless I overdo it, which I hardly ever do that.
Sometimes, though.
Well, sometimes, but sometimes.
What's your relationship like with weed and your parents? I know what it's like, but...
Well, Mom and Pop, you are both stoners. Yeah, so I found out that my parents were mad stoners, I don't know, like probably 5 years ago. And I remember just
But in a good connotation.
Oh, yeah.
You don't want to sound too negative about it.
I like to imagine it that way because it makes it way funnier in my head.
Right.
Like, it's a positive thing. It's
No,
just,
they're good stoners.
Yeah.
Like us.
Totally. Productive stoners.
Right.
But, yeah, found out that they smoked weed, like, all my childhood. And, because my sister told me, I don't think she was supposed to tell me, but she did. And then I just started connecting the dots, and I was like, wait a minute, why, that's why my mom loves candles. That's why they would always have eye drops on their table. Like,
right.
That's why I saw Ash, like, with the candles. Like, that's why, oh my gosh, that explains.
That's why they put a towel under their door.
That's why they put a towel under their door. I was like, how did I not pick up on this sooner? So that was a revelation, and that was already after, I think you were making videos and stuff.
Yeah, and I had smoked with my dad before.
Right, and when I first kind of talked about it with my parents, they were not ready to talk about it. My mom was super weirded out, and my dad just kind of went with the flow and was awkward too. And
yeah.
I think what actually happened was because you were making your videos, it opened up a conversation in a way for my mom to communicate about weed without feeling too weird,
Right, dude. That's cool.
So I
Because your
actually
mom,
think
your
that-
mom and I would talk about weed.
Right, you guys would actually talk more. I would be in the bathroom or I'd be doing something else, and you guys would be talking about Cottonmouth Media and weed laws and all this stuff. And I was
Dude,
just
Mindy's my biggest fan.
she is. She's a good cheerleader. She's a good supporter. She definitely watches all of your videos.
I appreciate you, Mindy.
Yeah, we love you.
We love you.
And then even getting to share, like, I remember the first time that I smoked weed with my parents, which was, I think it was at Ann and Ivan's.
No way, that was the first time you smoked with them?
I'm trying to remember.
I feel like you smoked with them before that.
I think, maybe, like, just with this SDZ. I think it was Mother's Day.
Yeah, that's what it was, I feel like.
So I smoked with my parents on Mother's Day, and that was a great experience. But then another really fun memory I have is when we all got to go to Ann and Ivan's, Manjaganja's house, for an event.
In San Diego.
Pizza party in San Diego, the Cannabis chefs, we love them. When we went to that party, all four of us, me, you, my mom, and my dad.
No, that's good. That light's helpful.
Oh, nice. We all were sitting around the table, and we were passing around the steezy, and then, you know, my dad passed it to you. You hit
Dude,
it. I
when
hit
your
it. My
when your
mom hit it.
when your dad passed me the steezy, I swear to God, it was like an out of body experience. He's just like looks at me,
And he does it.
puts it out, and I'm just like, it
Yeah.
was so funny.
It was really funny. So yeah, they are huge supporters, and now I get to talk to them about weed stuff. And I
Yeah.
smoked a bong in front of my mom. That was so weird.
Dude, last time I went out over to your house, they had the piece just like out.
Dude, just out. The piece and the kush is out because it's legal.
We're normalizing it, dude.
No, we totally are.
We're normalizing it, at least in our families.
Yeah. It's a weird feeling.
And people that want to learn about how to clean their bong.
Totally.
Is there any advice that you have to people trying to make connections in the cannabis industry, since you're a great networker?
I could go on for days about networking. But basically, shit in your life happens because you know people and you have a network. So you got to work really hard to build that network. It all comes down to people. And don't you want to work with good people and not bad people? Isn't it fun to talk to people that are like-minded and driven and passionate about what they do? So every opportunity, every single day, I feel like I always have one ear open for networking opportunities, whether it's in line to go get a Jamba Juice, or if it's I'm taking a class and a speaker comes in and I should talk to him at the end, or if I'm at, you know, coffee with another friend and I ask them about opportunities that they've heard of. I am constantly thinking about how can I build a better network and how can I nurture the people and the relationships that I already have.
Yeah.
So that's my advice. That's more like me talking about what I found successful, but
Yeah.
definitely take every day like a networking opportunity. When you go get coffee, when you
smoke weed.
smoke weed, when you know, just look at it like an opportunity to meet someone that could help you.
Yeah, but look to give them value, because that's how you're gonna get it.
Absolutely.
But
Definitely.
networking, yeah.
Yeah.
Taking the opportunities. That's good advice.
Yeah, and don't be afraid to just ask people out for coffee. And then just don't be boring.
Yeah.
You know, like if you like have some interesting topics to talk about, or like ask them questions or offer to pay for their lunch, you know, and then just try and be personable in yourself and tell them about you, you know.
Yeah.
The best person that can pitch for yourself. I guess that's not even really true. I guess because it could come off as like cocky or whatever. But believe in yourself and network the hell out of it.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Thanks for being on the Bongcast.
Wow, that's it. Nice.
Is that it? You want more? We'd need a light, I think.
No.
Okay. Well,
I love cinnamon rolls. I'd want one now.
yeah. Tell us about yourself a little bit.
What?
No, we smoke
But I wanted to point out that one of our go-to dates is smoking weed and going to McDonald's.
No, I think cannabis really helps our relationship.
Yeah,
I think
absolutely.
that's a good question. How does cannabis affect our relationship?
That's true. How does
Ooh,
it?
We just lost light.
Gianna! Turn that back on! Thank you.
That's so funny.
Okay.
I
How does cannabis help our relationship? That's a good point.
When we get annoyed at each other for stupid reasons that we know that we aren't actually fighting over anything, then we can just have a little joint or a little bowl and then be like, you know what? I still love you.
It's all good.
It's all good. We wasted all that time being angry for no reason.
And now we're stoned. Ooh, and we eat cookies when we're high, for
Cookies,
sure.
absolutely.
That is a go-to.
I really recommend cannabis to couples. It can help you.
Cannabis for couples.
Cannabis for couples. Wow.
Seriously.
Yeah. That's it.
Thanks for being on the Bongcast.
You're welcome.
Yo, cannabis lovers, thanks for listening to the latest episode of the Bongcast. I hope you enjoyed getting to know Leah and learning more about our life and career together in the cannabis industry. Thank you, Leah, for sharing your story with my audience and always supporting me in everything that I do. I love you, and I am very grateful for you. Be sure to follow Leah on her cannabis journey and beyond on Instagram, which is at LivinAsLeah. That's @ LivinAsLeah. Living as Leah. Thanks for listening or watching or whatever it is you did to this podcast, but I'm glad you did it. But otherwise, yo, I'll see you guys in the next Cottonmouth podcast.
Peace.
Be sure to stick around for next week's episode, as that is the last episode of Season 2 on the Bongcast. Stay tuned for Season 3 of the Bongcast, coming to you at the beginning of 2020.
Yeah. Baby girl, you're so damn fine, though. Wanna know if I can hit it from behind, though. I'm sipping on you like some fine wine, though. When it's over, I press rewind, though.
It's a great way to remember it. Princess Leah. That's right. She spells her name Leah, and it's not pronounced Leah. Princess Leia.
Bet you don't do that with all your guests, huh?
Peace.
I don't know what I'm doing here. Goodbye. If you like this podcast, go ahead and leave me a review. I would appreciate it.
Cottonmouth Media.